Hey Rock Kids, Dan here, and Mike.
What's up?
Just wanted to let you guys know that I wanted to thank Mike for helping midweek, and I wanted to ask each of you to consider helping midweek because we can't do the prep by ourselves, right? Doing prep is a big deal because when our service is well prepped, our coaches don't have to worry about the prep, right? They don't have to be doing prep when they're supposed to be supporting our leads, right? So when our coaches are well supported by prep being done well, like it is this Sunday, thanks to Mike helping out, our coaches succeed, then they focus on our leaders are well supported and well cared for, then the leaders focus on the kids. And that's when we really are able to be focused in our small groups, develop a relationship, and we know that through relationship is the best way to impact a child for eternity, where they will remember that leader that's made relationship with them, and will point back at them as this is someone who made a spiritual impact in my life for the rest of my life. So please come see myself or come see Mike if you want to help with midweek prep. We'll work with your schedule. Days, times, morning, afternoons, evenings. Just tell us if you want to help and we'll let you help and get you in on helping with prep. Thanks. Off to Mike.
Awesome. And I just want to take a second to encourage you guys to do that because it really, I know you guys realize it when the bins are put together, right, or our activities are put together, it really sets us up to win. And it really just takes your own personal walk to the next level with that extra commitment. So I would ask you to just think about how our church works as well, how we push life groups, how we push small groups, and life class. And what we want to do is make this big ministry of ours a small one as far as making that impact, that huge impact can be made by one person. So I ask you guys and I encourage you guys and I challenge you guys to step up to that call and help out if you can. And like Dan said, it's flexible. So thank you for that and thank you for your service in general. So I'm really grateful for that. So let's get right into the lesson, ladies and gentlemen. So there's two activities that we're going to do today. The first one is called Red Sea and Dry Land. It's going to be a fun activity, but I want to give you a heads up as the leaders to know that it's a high intense energy exercise as well because we're going to be popping balloons, so that can get the kids hyped up, excited. So I just wanted to give the leaders a heads up on that. So Dan's going to be demoing and doing basically what the deal is and what we're going to ask you guys to do in this exercise. So there's going to be story cards or story strips, and what you're going to do is roll them up just like Dan is right now. And what you're going to do is stuff them in the balloon and then blow up the balloon using the pumps we have. So speaking of blowing them up, during large group is when we're going to be doing this. And as you can see, if we're in the back of the large group room, it's kind of, distracting. It's loud. So we're going to ask two of the leaders, if possible, if your service has enough leaders to maintain this, so one at least is still in the room, two step outside so you can go ahead and get these balloons blown up with the story strips inside of them. So that's something that is just a mental note to go outside when we're doing this so we don't distract our large group leaders from the lesson. So Dan's got the balloon ready. He has the story strip inside of it right now. And basically there's two different teams. We blew up a blue balloon. There's also a gold balloon around here somewhere. So we're going to have two different teams. Oh, there it is. there's a gold balloon as well. So we're going to have two different teams, the gold and the blue team. And when you say go, each team member should scramble to grab one of their colored balloons. Again, it's a high energy exercise, so we want to make sure that the kids are just basically just focused in the game, but not going overboard basically. And we're not going to pop the balloons, by the way, guys, with any kind of sharp objects or anything like that. We're going to use our body. You can use your elbow like Dan did. You can rub it on your head like that and just right now, step on it, sit on it. However you want to pop the balloon is all good with us, with the exception of no sharp, pointy objects or any objects other than their body to use to pop it. So at the end of the game, when all the balloons are popped, all the stories are out, you're going to want to read them all aloud. And you want to go basically to the bottom line here, which is you want to ask the question of what they all have in common, first of all, and secondly, how it ties into the bottom line, which is you can do what you should even though when things are impossible. Excuse me. So one more time. You can do what you should even when things seem impossible. So that's the bottom line for this week. So tie in that story of the impossible things that are on the story strips to the bottom line. And that would be our first exercise or activity. So that is that. And what we're going to do now is go into our next activity, which is called Hands of Hope. And this is our memory verse activity. And Dan is going to be demoing this as well while I'm going over it here with you guys. So what you're going to do, first of all, guys, in your caddies are some mini Bibles. Mini Bible, big message. So I want to make sure that you guys all have one, which you should. And you're going to open it up to Joshua 1:9b. So read it aloud to your group, okay? And basically what you're going to want to do as well is point out the word hope in the actual scripture. So when the Israelites were faced with the impossible, they gave up hope that God would save them. So hope is the key here. So you're going to give each one of the children a piece of construction paper, as Dan is demonstrating here. And you're going to ask them to put down or basically trace their dominant hand. If they're right-handed, that's their right hand, and use their non-dominant hand, which is their left hand, to trace the actual imprint of their hand along on the construction paper. So Dan's doing this as we speak. And obviously, a lot of us don't know how to be ambidextrous and use both hands to write. Some of us do, and some kids might. But for the most part, it's going to come out a little bit different than it would with their dominant hand. So after they've traced their hand, guys, the second part of this exercise is to have them write the word hope with their non-dominant hand as well, since hope was that key word that we're going after here. So hope, direct them to write that as well with the non-dominant hand. And at the end, the big why here, as Dan's writing hope, is just letting them know that, hey, it was tricky to use your non-dominant hand to do this. But again, coming back to the bottom line, that it is basically, one more time, guys, here it is. You can do what you should even when things seem impossible. So one more time, you can do what you should even when things seem impossible. So what I would invite you guys to do right here is really open it up for some discussion. Maybe start it off with an age-appropriate story of your own that correlates with this message or with this bottom line. If you have children that are interested in sharing, by all means let them share, and then help them with sharing your own story as well to get that energy going in your group. So that's something that I would think that would be so valuable to do, and share these experiences with your group to let them know that God is always with them even when things seem impossible. So that's that exercise, guys. So the last thing, last but not least, is prayer and praying out. So we're going to use these hands of hope that we just created in this exercise. And Dan is cutting out the hand as we speak because it's going to be used in the prayer as well. So what you're going to do, guys, once all the hands are cut out in your group, you're going to put them all in the center of your small group area. Okay, get into a circle. Go ahead, Dan.
Can I use my dominant hand for this?
Yes, that's a great point and a great question. The kids can cut out with their normal dominant hand when they're cutting it out. We just need the non-dominant when they're writing hope, as well as tracing their dominant hand. So great question, Dan. Thank you for that.
The kids wouldn't get this joke, but let's see if any of you do. I too have a secret. I am not left-handed.
No, you're not.
I'm not right-handed. Quote it. Movie quote? Movie quote? Anyone?
Oh, man.
Other one from the movie. You kill my father, prepare to die. My name is Inigo Montoya.
Princess Bride.
There you go.
Princess Bride, I remember. Yep, love it. Andre the Giant's in that movie.
Right. Obey.
Yes, yes. So Dan's cutting it out. We're putting all the cutout hands in the center of the circle, guys, the prayer circle that we're going to get together. And here's the last but not least part of this, is that we're going to make a clear path between the hands and parting the sea. So Dan's going to demo that, of what that actually looks like to you. So we're ripping up the pages that we have here, or the hands that we have here. So we're going to have that pile in the middle of the circle, like Dan's demonstrating here. And then what we're going to do is split them into two separate lines, if you will, or separate seas, if you will. So that's basically what we're going to do here, to really, let them know that, hey, we parted this impossible sea right here, and we did it with our own hands and we did it in prayer. So guys, anything is impossible with God, or